Hi, welcome to my third holiday tutorial. As you can see, I haven't put any makeup on my face yet, and that, well, except for a little bit of eye primer, and that's because I want to start with the eyes. I'm anticipating it getting a little bit messy, so let's jump right into this. Alright, with the Tartelette In Bloom, we're going to start off with some pink today. So I'm going to take the shade down here, which is called Sweetheart, on the kit blending brush, which is what I always use for this sort of thing. Get a good amount on there, and then just start blending that into the crease. Don't worry if it gets all over the lid, that's fine. And you can blend that up as high as you want. I'm also going to blend a little bit of that down into the outer corner here on each eye. Oops, hair in my face. Today's tutorial was going to be a cut crease, but that style just doesn't suit my eye shape very well because I don't know if you can tell or not, but I don't have a lot of space between my crease and eyebrow here. I have a little bit here, but when I do a cut crease, it just doesn't look right. So I can do it, but there are a lot of other eyeshadow styles that suit me a lot better, and I figure if I'm going to show you something, it might as well be something that looks good. And when you're done, you should have something a little bit like this, and if you don't, you can keep blending. So now I'm going to take some of the pinks from the Modern Renaissance palette. I'm going to take the shade Love Letter, which can be found over here, and I'm also going to take a little bit of Red Ochre, which is down here. So I'm just going to kind of tap my brush once in a Love Letter and once in a Red Ochre, and I'm going to go back into the crease area. And you should have something relatively smoky like this. That's the whole point, is that this is going to be a very smoky eye with a lot of reds and pinks. And you can just kind of continuously build it up until you get to the point that you like. And right now this is looking very smoky. In fact, it's looking a little bit muddy, and if it does get to that point with you, what you can do is you can go back into your transition shade, and that transition shade is that Sweetheart color from the first palette that we went into. So you just want to go back into that and just start blending over the other colors to kind of soften that out again. And that's what I'm going to do. Very softly. And you can see how that's just started to blend out a lot better now. It's not looking as harsh or as muddy as it was previously because we went back in with the first shade. And I did blend everything into the outer corner as well, as you can see. And just to deepen up that outer corner a little bit more, I'm going to take the shade Cypress Umber, which is the darkest brown in the Modern Renaissance palette. Because when you have this much red and pink on your eyes, it can make you look a little bit sick when you're as pale as I am. So I'm just taking the brush that comes with the palette, and I'm taking just this little fluffy side that's meant for packing onto the lid, and I'm just going to take a small amount and darken up the very outer portion. And this is just going to add a little bit of depth and prevent it from looking too red. And I'm just blending that in with the blending side of the brush, and you can drag that up a little bit into the crease if you want. I don't feel the need to, but if you feel that things are a little bit too red and pink up there as well, that's definitely a way that you can tone that down a bit. I'm pretty happy with how this looks right now, and I did get quite a bit of color on the lid here where I don't really want it, so I'm going to go back in with my eye primer, and today I used Benefit Stay Don't Stray because it's quite tacky, which is what I wanted for today's look. And I'm taking a concealer brush, which is just from Eco Tools. You could use any brush. And I'm just going to go back over the parts of my lid where I feel like I need to clean up a bit. So kind of in this area here. And you can also do this with concealer. Kind of avoiding that outer area because I want color there. And after you've done this, you're going to want to set it with powder again. And now that that's done, and by the way, this is very similar to what you do to kind of cut the lid for a cut crease, but we're not doing an actual cut crease. Now that that's done, I'm going to go into this palette here. This is from Quo. It was one of their holiday palettes. And I'm going to take this very soft shimmery green down here. And because these are baked eyeshadows, they're very stiff and hard to use. So I'm going to take one of my brushes. This is from Real Techniques. And I'm going to wet it quite thoroughly with the Lise Watier Metamorphics drops. I'm just going to start putting my brush onto that. That's why this palette is so messy. I was mixing. And I'm going to pat that onto the bare part of my lid. Wait for that to dry too. Don't open up your lid or else it'll transfer. That's good. So you can see it's very, very shiny. It's beautiful. And you could leave it like that, but what I'm going to do for a little bit of extra festivity is I'm going to go in with this shade. It's Urban Decay Solstice, and it is a duochrome. So it has kind of two shades when it hits the light from certain angles. And the best thing for this is to just dig your finger in there. And this is where the mess comes in. And I'm just going to pat that over top of the green. This is very glittery, and because it can be a bit sheer, that's why I wanted that base there. But like I said, you could leave it with just the green there. By the way, these shadows pop out. Come on, here we go. Like that. So if you have an Urban Decay palette, you can just pop these out and put it in. And you're probably going to experience some fallout under your eyes. That's why I waited to do the rest of my face. I already did my inner corner with the green shade from the Quo palette. And you can highlight your inner corner with anything you want. You could leave it blank. And I'm going to do some eyeliner, but I'm going to clean up the edges here first, and I'll be right back. I just cleaned up the edges with a little bit of concealer and a brush. You could do this, you could save time by doing a little bit of tape on each side, but because the planes of my face are quite high, I find that the tape never sits flat. But yeah, if you put some tape here and then just peel it up afterwards, you'll get a similar effect by having two straight edges there. I just take some concealer afterwards. And for my eyeliner, I'm going in with the Essence Gel Eyeliner in black. It's actually called Midnight in Paris, but it's black. And the little angled eyeliner brush by Essence. And I'm going to draw on some eyeliner. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do a wing or not. I have a clear line there if I want to. We'll see how it goes. I drew some pretty huge wings. As you can see, I didn't have glitter liner, so I just kind of took that same brush, cleaned it off, and then drew on some glitter with that same shade that I used on here, the Urban Decay Solstice. I thought that looked pretty cool. And I'm just going to smoke out my lower lash line a little bit. Actually, no, I'm going to wait until after I finish the rest of my face because I don't want concealer to cover that up. So I guess I'll do the rest of my face, come back, and then we'll finish the eyes really quickly. Alright, I'm back. To smoke out that lower lash line, again I'm going into the Modern Renaissance palette with the little smudgy brush and taking a little bit of Love Letter and Red Ochre. I'm just going to do my mascara and I'll be right back. I'm done with my mascara, and because, just like last time, I said because this is a very festive and holiday glam look, I'm going to do a little bit of highlight. And for that, I'm going to go into the NYC Individualeyes Pink Nudes palette and take the cream highlighter down here. And lastly, for lips, I don't want to go too dark because the eye makeup is so dramatic. So I'm going to take this Animal Twist Up lip color in the shade Romance, which I already posted swatches of this on both my Facebook page and a previous video. There are some, and this is a dupe for some Urban Decay shades. And the formula is so creamy and comfortable on this. And on top of that, I'm going to be adding a little bit of this Sephora, I believe it's called their lip gel, in the shade Pinup Pink. The wand. It's kind of like a figure 8 shape. And that's it. This was my third and final holiday look of the season. I think this one is probably best for your holiday parties, maybe even New Year's Eve, because it's very sparkly and really over the top almost. But I really hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed filming it. I hope you have a very happy holidays.